For Broadway. Let's call the meeting to order. It's 4:35. We have one excused absence. I believe Jamie is unable to join us. We have a motion to Kevin. Steve. Land recognition.
The Sault Ste. Marie Public Library is a gathering place where community comes together to share stories, to explore new ideas, and to gain knowledge of the past. It is through this unique position in our community that we support and promote truth and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge with respect that we are in Huron-Robinson Treaty territory, that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and is known as Bawating. Bawating is home of the Ketecon-Seebee Garden River First Nations, Bajawana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. The library and we as individuals have a deep desire to bring about change in our community and move forward together as diverse and inclusive peoples. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect.
Approval of agenda. Any additions?
Just want to make an introduction.
Yeah.
Rebecca?
Thank you. Oh yeah, that's it. We're here for a good reason. Any other business? I want to add one item under new business, and it'll be a brief item. I just want to talk about volunteer recognition. And as Matthew said, the grievance procedure will do this afternoon, but that's part of closed. It needs to be an addition, but it's a motion to approve the agenda. Kevin, Mike, any opposed? Chair's report. Yeah, super conference coming up, but I see that's later in the agenda and the first reading, so we can talk about that then. Big event for me this month. I was in Toronto with OPO, Federation of Public Libraries, and OLA, Ontario Libraries Association, that represents basically all the libraries in Ontario. And we were at Queen's Park for the day, pitching what are the major issues. You gotta remember, we work with the lobby group to help us formulate what we need to speak about. What are the major issues for the libraries in Ontario? And so we were able to meet with NDPs easy, Liberals are easy, ECs, the minister responsible for libraries was very supportive and listening to the issues. Ross Romano didn't even make the list, he gave no response. So I was walking around the building, his door was open. I went in. Good conversation with him. He said, Ross, you're so hard to get at home. I thought I'd come here. And so he told me all about himself. I told him about the library. So you get in that office too. He sees somewhat supportive. The major agenda items for the budget, not huge money items. I won't go into them too much. To deal with First Nations libraries, enveloping money for school libraries. Well, they have a certain allocation. Well, across the province, there's an allocation of $22 million, but only 10% of that has to be accounted for libraries. What we're asking the minister to do is to envelope the whole thing so it does get into First Nations library issue. Where I should notice off better. The digital public library, right? What that looks like. And the PCs are fairly supportive of all of these things. That's what we pay that lobby group for, to give us So when the PC hear these things, they're, you know, they're not far away, and money ask, when you're asking for a few million, that's not a huge dollar amount in terms of budget. So all of those things are gaining traction. So it was a good education community on Queens Park, and working with other librarians, CEOs, and board people, and visiting with various entities. So it was a good experience, but I'm trying to do it again. Lisa sent us all a good article on health and social benefits of libraries, and forwarded that on to most of the city council. We got a lot of good responses. They're very supportive. Great articles. Good for us. So thanks, Lisa, for doing that. They're meeting tonight to review our budget requests. I wish I could be positive, despite all the talk in the community about it. It's a good thing. It's not that expensive. And I don't think we're getting very far. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we get any. Just not getting a good feel. They're faced with other issues and priority list. And yeah, that's the end of my trip. Oh, one more thing. I've been calling in January. CEO evaluation committee get together. Now we were holding off to the future plan. Have that with them, develop how do we want to move forward.
When the budget request, it's not all or nothing, eh? Like they could decide to give us some.
And like I said, Kevin, the amounts aren't huge. And the minister responsible for libraries was very supportive, and I don't think it was just in these PC. And I don't think he was just paying us lip service. The Heritage Digital Library has a really good feel to it, and it's something the party can get behind, and customers. So, you know, they're good issues. First Nations libraries, good issues. School libraries cost you nothing, right? Because you're already given the money, just envelope the money, so it actually gets spent on school libraries. Yeah. Any other questions? That's it. My report. You need a motion. So I need a motion to accept my report. Lisa. Second. Steve. Thank you. Oh, any opposed? Hearing none. Online, if I don't see your hand, I think we need somebody who will tell me or yell. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Number 6. There's a lot in there because we're a month and a lot of work was done. Anyone need any questions answered or anything removed from it? Hearing none. That's right. Okay, so the motion to approve the consent agenda. Steve, second. Mike, any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Item number 6. I spoke to it in my report, so it'll be quick. CEO evaluation committee will set up a meeting probably January. I'd like to wait to the budget to say who's on. Good. Number 7, library closures in your packet.
Yeah, the barrel needs a long packet.
I'm also trying to scroll through it. I know
We have to find the first page. Let me
I
know.
read it before, but page 67.
67. All right. Nice.
So, Matthew?
Yeah, so, the library, closures, we did discuss this at the committee level as well. And so we based it mostly on what we've done in the past and what city has done for the closures. Some differences would be our staff development day. November. Let's just scroll down, see that we have a holiday opening as well. And that's family day. So it's not a full day opening, it's just for a short time. Partly, it's not a full day opening because we have some restrictions in terms of staffing availability. Full-time staff have to volunteer to work those days. If we have full-time staff working, we can schedule part-time as we need for those days. And then we have early closures for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Again, that's based on the traditional closures that we've done. So, are there any questions regarding the closing dates? I will note that this year a lot of closures actually fell on the weekends, and so we had more closures this year than
Pretty standard, but the cities do the same thing, right? Except for the city's closed on.
Right.
Are you really closed on that?
I know Civic Center is, I
City
expect
Hall,
those
yeah.
those places.
That makes sense, and then like even the why, whatever, family day, staff. Thanks for job here. But families are looking to engage in the community and not speak about. Haven't been hard.
No truth and reconciliation. Bill.
That was part of contract negotiation.
We were negotiating that was an option, but the board had desired to remain open on Tuesday night. Reconciliation day, so it wasn't negotiated into the contracts, and we remain open.
If the province was to make this, they know that, then that may change. How we look at things.
And according to our collective agreement for the full-time union, we can open 2 public holidays in a given year. So if the board does desire to be open on Truth and Reconciliation Day, similar to Family Day, not necessarily a full operational day, but open some hours, we could do that in the future as well, even if it was declared out.
Might be a good day to read about this. Anyway.
Anything else from you? We need a motion to approve library closures for 2024. Kevin? Lisa? Yeah, you missed your chance.
I'm leaning in front of you so we can't see it.
Don't fight over it. Any opposed? Motion's passed. We already did this somewhere. Moving on. And then there were no items removed from consent. So we are on number 8, information items. 8.1 NOLHA Community Champion of the Year Award.
The very next award is actually over here. Brian Schultz. So, Elise actually, received this for us at the gala event. And we've been supporting, NOLA for the last, number of years, through we share space with them for Spanish and Portuguese language classes. So in recognition of the support for those programs that we've been giving them, they've, given us this award.
I was gonna suggest it the other way in front of this camera, so that way it shows up.
There we
Right
go.
There, just, yeah, put that up on camera there. There you go.
I don't know.
Ontario Latin and Hispanic Association. Very good. It was nice to work it with. 8.2, Christmas open.
This has already happened, but,
Yeah.
apparently they had a very lovely, Christmas. Still I'm not able to make it, but I heard a lot of really positive feedback.
Questions for you, Bruce, I think? We move on to-
So we finished all our strategic planning processes. And, what I'm seeking now is just the official approval of the plan. And then moving forward, you'll see some, changes to the board packages, which will include strategic planning items for tracking of the strategic plan moving forward. This is the public document that you see here. We also have the staff document with all our action plans and everything related to that separately. And so what I'm looking for is just a motion to approve it. So that we can implement.
Approve everything or approve the public part?
Ideally, the whole thing, but if you want me to bring back the action plan for separate approval, I can do that.
Nope, I just wanted to know.
Yeah. We'll get on screen and so. The question is,
It is available on our website right now. It is good to share with all of our partners. And we should try to schedule a time to go in front of council and get them a presentation.
that's where I was going. Maybe we need to set up time. Wait till Jan, don't do it right now, but after Christmas, January, perhaps, things settle down over there. It's not not ask for anything. So I need that motion to approve the library's strategic plan as presented. Mike. Steve, Kevin. Any opposed? Nine point two, the board's meeting calendar. Next item. And, I said earlier, we are not, the dates are pretty flexible. Very flexible, because as soon as we start moving the dates around, somebody else has a problem. It is what it is. Different careers, different family commitments, all kinds of things. Anyone see any serious issues or hope would be effective? Like I said about time, the board ever wants to consider it. And I think that would work better for the board itself. To do it on occasion, to do it once, to do it. Well, we're open to, all we need to do is have 7 meetings. Yeah, part of the book. Yeah, we can have more. Seven. Kevin, ever hand up?
Yeah, I got a few questions. One, Under February, it says presentation of annual report.
Yes, that, my intention was the presentation and annual report to.
Also, I'm having trouble making finance committee meetings on Thursdays at 4:30. So,
Yes. What would work better for you? I'm pretty flexible, so
like even 5:30 would work better for me. Like, I don't want to push everybody else's calendars around, but I'm telling you, like, I'm having trouble getting there on Thursdays.
and I appreciate that. And, we would do another day, would that work better for you?
Tuesdays would work. Wednesdays would even work, really. But again, like, we can wait and think about it like that. It doesn't.
Matt, you can take a look at this and see if you can find.
Well,
I know you're gonna run into other conflicts.
So we could defer this item if you guys prefer, or just approve the January schedule. And then we could pull for the finance committee.
Yeah, I would appreciate it. I really do like being on that committee, and I just can't make that work right now.
So my recommendation is that we pull for the finance committee, the event and time.
Not Saturday, no.
Yeah, like even later on Thursday would be fine with me, like 5:30, 6 would be fine with me. If we want to do it a little bit later. Or another day. So either of those would work. Like Tuesday, Wednesday would work. Tuesday would be better. And really, like an odd Monday would work too. Like, I don't have any problem with Monday, so.
Okay. Can you work with Kevin on?
Thank you, Rocky.
Anyone else, any conflicts or major concerns? Pretty good. Now, like I said, we all run into things from time to time, we can't make a meeting. But appreciate you honoring your commitment. So I need a motion to approve the calendar except for the finance. At this time. That work?
Yeah, so we'll say it as amended, the pull for the finance. Finance committee meetings will be full.
Kevin, move, second. Aaron, second.
Sure.
Yeah, just check and make sure you hadn't ripped it off. Any opposed? Hearing crickets. No, motion is passed. Well, a super conference is coming up again in January. The boot camp is on Saturday. No, anyone go last year?
Did you have?
Because it needs to be. Okay.
Conference.
That's good. Who's interested in going? Based on your work. The last week, January. We'll save a lot of discussion. Starts on the 24th. It's not that big a deal, it's supposed to. Oh, no, oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were on Wednesday. And Elise is doing her thing. Oh, well, I could leave the room now, I just. I'm gonna call you later, I don't know. Oh, you're not the first person I offended today. Let's go. Put the other boot in. Anyway, so. And there's a person available.
for information.
Okay, so that means that one board member could be.
This is a new, it's a different categories, like Northern Ontario. Work Experience.
So that means that one board member.
Maybe.
Maybe. So let's start with who's interested. Aaron, you interested in going this year?
My trouble is work.
Yeah, that'll do that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they like me to be there.
Because we don't have an unlimited amount of money, but I'm just like, first I'd like to identify who can go or who wants to go. So work is a huge problem. Anna, are you available?
Just unmuting myself. Sorry. I'd have to clear it with work for sure as well. I have a limited amount of agency to do that, but I can ask.
Thanks, Anna. Although,
Yeah, with work, probably not.
Steve?
I know I've got a big year-end report that week, so probably not.
Joe?
I'd love to go. I've been before, so I would put new people ahead of me, but, if there is an option, I would love to go.
The whole thing, Kevin, or boot camp, or?
Well, I would say the whole thing, yeah, I mean. At least the. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Mike?
I mean, probably the whole
Sure.
thing.
Might be.
I can go and work in the Toronto office, so. If I have to go in, I can go in there.
Yeah. I'm going.
You can shake your head.
I budgeted for the early bird price and I don't think we've made that. We might be able to swing it. I can look at it.
Kevin.
I
Put a
would
hold on
gladly
it.
give my feet up if it's a money issue or if somebody else wants to go.
The brothers, Anna, Amy,
Yeah, and Hannah hasn't gone before,
Yeah.
so if
she might qualify for first. Yeah. She's never before.
I doubt I'll get approved, but I can definitely ask before the end of the year here.
and see what happens. And, you know, like I say, I'll go, you know, I have the ability to go and shift my hours and work from the hotel room and all that stuff, so I can make it work for me. But, like I've been there, I've got to go before, so.
It's worthwhile.
Yeah, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, like,
It's great.
you
You
know,
meet a lot of people, you see a lot of, like, you hear a lot of neat ideas. It's definitely worth it.
And Elisa's presenting. So.
The best part.
Yes, the-
Let's not forget that. What are you doing? So I'll leave that.
Okay, so Hannah, if you can get back to us. And then we have Kevin and Jamie. And you as Jeff. And then we have Colby.
Yeah.
And then on our side, it's gonna be like myself.
Not presenting.
Let's Well, last year they had one course on administration for public life. It's all library operations. So people learned about that too. Yeah, that's true.
Going back to fully live. So much. Libraries. Education. Much
Yeah.
management. You know, the broad spectrum. Sorry. Okay.
We're operating a little bit short.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, you want to do number 10, follow up to a visit to the Ministry of Labor?
Yeah, okay, I know this is, a big, topic. You guys all recall the first visit that we received, they did, return. And we were only partially, completed our, risk assessment at that point, so when they returned after I think it was 6 weeks, we had concluded the investigation into the incident that initially prompted the call to the ministry. What we hadn't done at that point was we hadn't determined what we were going to do. So we recognized through the investigation process that procedure of having staff go and approach people outside the library who experiencing homelessness did put them in fact in additional risk. And so we determined not to do that anymore, but we hadn't determined whether or not we were going to completely eliminate the policy procedure or modify it in some way. And so we have since then modified it to now contact first public DSAP and see if a social worker will come out to do a wellness check and bring up resources. And failing that, we also have the ambassador program that we can contact and see if they can come out to try and connect with resources. And then finally, if both of those offices are closed or they're unable to attend, we can contact police to come out to the ground. And the police do have a social worker that they work with sometimes as well. And staff are no longer being asked to go out and address the patrons, so we're no longer, that risk has now been eliminated. So we were almost there by the time the inspector had come back. Just not quite. We wanted to do an overall risk assessment of workplace violence. This was just one component of it. The board had actually passed a motion, I believe, in June, asking for this risk assessment. And in part, we also have that in this package as well, which we have sent off to the ministry. The Joint Health and Safety Committee will be reviewing it, and then the inspector will be coming back to discuss what we've done with the risk assessment for that one particular procedure, as well as the overall violence in the workplace assessment. So once the Joint Health and Safety Committee has gone over the assessment, then we'll have the inspector come back and discuss it, and then hopefully the investigation will be completed at that point and the case closed. Now, with this investigation, the foundation is the initial workplace risk assessment that we have done back in 2022. And then we have hired Good Sense Workplace Solutions, an independent third party, to come in and do an additional assessment for us. And so they worked with the Joint Health and Safety Committee, and I provided them various documentation, including how many police calls come out, how many incident reports we've had, our various policies and safety procedures, and any other data that we had. I believe we went with incident reports going back at least 3 years. And so they took all that information, how many special they're gonna have to take, and then they came up with, additions to this report, and so, you can see here the risk analysis section of it. They've given us this chart, based on all the information they received, and they've actually identified various, risks, and they've, given suggestions on how they eliminate photo hazards. And then also the probability of these occurring. And so you'll see throughout it, it's mostly low with mediums throughout. And so we're gonna have to take a look at each section that is at a medium and see if there are further ways that we can mitigate any risks and eliminate them. And so we got a little bit of work ahead of us, but we should note that overall, the workplace violence, according to this assessment that the sector done for us, is quite low. But there are some activities at the library that are likely to put staff at a little bit more of a risk for workplace violence than some other activities. I think that is a good overall assessment. And then I'm going to talk about any specifics that the board members may have.
It's quite the package. Good enough. But it's in front of us, we got that package. Any comments or questions from Matthew on your program? No, it's up and down.
What do we have outstanding actions?
There are gonna be some things that, we have our harassment, I think we have some discrimination policy. And in it, there's no mention of domestic violence, and there's no mention of domestic violence in, our various policies and procedures and manuals, and, that's something that's been identified by the ministry that needs to be included. So there are some things like that that have to be added. So there's a number of action items. Another example is having the staff binder available in the downstairs, which has our emergency procedures in it. It's available upstairs at the very desk in case of power outage, available to everybody online. But we did identify a couple areas where it probably should be located in case of emergencies for other departments and staff like technical services. And so there are a number of action items in here. Some of them have already been done.
And I assume that the recommendation to review with the Joint Health and Safety Committee, that's already being done.
So Catherine has already scheduled something. For the
Thursday.
Awesome.
Any other questions? My own comment. In fact, the ministry investigation's been satisfied. They know they made a recommendation. It wasn't work, it was what.
We had a no order the first time, the second time because we hadn't completed the work. They put it in, even though we were like.
You don't like when you're slow on your homework, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, I look at this chart and I've seen many of the areas. The probability is low, which tells me that the numbers can create a misleading picture in terms of the safety of this building. I think it's still the same building. The things that we need to address in the community. This is still a safe place to go. Yeah. And that's important as a board to check that for the employee and the public. This makes me feel confident with the IT. Safety goes the same way.
And there are other things that we haven't done or contemplated, like we do fire drills. It's been recommended that we also do a lockout. So that staff would know familiar with those procedures, rather than them just reading. So there are things that we can do to improve, and this document, outlines some ways that we can do that. But overall, I think it says that we've been doing a lot of really good things to provide a safe and secure work environment.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Hearing none.
I would just like to have two motions. Should have said you received this information. One resolution is resolved that Super Public Library Board received the 2023 workplace balance risk assessment as information.
Mover, Kevin, second. Steve, any opposed?
And then secondly, the same but for the field visit.
Aaron? You move it?
Yep.
Hannah, please second.
Yes.
Thank you. I know you're on your phone. Any opposed? The motion is passed. Thank you. No, it's an important piece of work. Membership drive report is number 11. The last item in your packet. And you want to pick this? No, oh, sorry, I forgot this was here. I know, just do it again, right?
Okay. So your membership drive report that I showed you just does the highlights. I didn't go into every single detail of where and what we did. But we started our advertising in August. We sent it out to all news outlet media, and it was picking up by a few of them. So that included Sioux Today, Sioux This Week, First Local News, CTV Northern Ontario, Sioux Star, Moose Radio, City Council, the Library Board. We've also got our posters almost everywhere, including in our newsletter. So our newsletter has an already pre-done route that includes the Northern Community Center, all the active 55s, John Road Community Center, City Hall, Sioux Community Career Center, and that's it for the newsletter. But we got into quite a few things, including the Fringe Festival, Chinwalk, Chamber of Commerce newsletter agreed to put it out for us as well. Queen's Tarts put it up in their restaurant as well. We also got to attend a lot of places for outreach events, and I just wanted to give some thanks to Marlene, who's pictured in your front. She's our new senior technician. She worked a lot of evenings and weekends to help me do these outreach events. So we attended the ICA August. This is for new immigrants in the Sioux. Back to School Blitz for Garden River Education Center. Sioux College International Fair for new international students. Sioux College Orientation Fair for current non-international students. Rome Grocer. I was honored to say that we got invited to the Robinson Huron Treaty of 1850 gathering at the Garden River Community Center. We were the only non-Indigenous organization to be invited there. Newcomer Fair at the Roberta Bonder for more new immigrants to our community. Metro, we attended Bush Plain Days. Food Basic Station Mall, Algoma University, both their general and international fair. The Greyhounds game, I saw Kevin there. And Cultural Family Fun Day, of course. With this, we got for September we come until October 3rd because my back staff were quite overwhelmed with the number of circulation. Another online members that were coming through. So we ended up on October 3rd with 671 new members. This brings us to, for the year 2023, 3,310 new members for 2023. So it did see a big uptake. From September to our current date, December 11th, we now have 1,159 new members. On average, we see about 200 signups, with our biggest month being January with 347. So we doubled that number for membership. Thank you.
No, those are amazing. Those are wonderful. Anyone else want to questions or comments? Or?
The demographics there, the number, the younger, like there's a big number of age 13 to 19, is that typical? Or
It's
that, or?
very difficult to target teens, so this
Yeah.
was quite a significant number.
That's
We
what I
don't
was
often
wondering,
see
yeah.
that large scale, yeah. We often see under 12 and adults and of course senior, but not as much sort of later. Yes. Yeah, we went out to Prince Charles and advocated for them. Our teen advisory group also did a lot of work advertising in their schools where they earned volunteer hours. We actually had a lot of teenagers coming in like with their backpacks for the administration office. They're like, we're here for a library. Upstairs. Yeah.
That's-
Our one circulation member, Kathy Studios, I called a Conrad membership card, and for herself did over 350 new members for the month. So she hand addresses those envelopes. Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
I'm glad you're targeting me. And I'm glad you got invited to the character river because they won't let me in.
No.
And I work for Notch. And they'll just say, no, you're not our people. This is a very contentious issue. I consider. How the money gets allocated. Seen the results of the election, so. So there's a lot of voices out there. Not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be, I'd love to do that too.
I did a big email to all of our indigenous partners and non-partners that we
Yeah.
hadn't cooperated with, and we got a lot of positive feedback. I did not send an email forward, and they shared it on their social media. So Ontario, Average Housing, Urban Indigenous early on, and several others.
I can make this suggestion. We present city council. Just to say, like, there's a lot of them are in the dark about how much of an impact they have in it.
And then the last thing is I just wanted to thank Sharon, who got us into the school board and got me a direct connection to get all of our library stuff right over the back end for parents and kids. And of course, we got us into the school board for platform. So
Even places to figure out.
yeah, those connections. Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron. Aaron, yeah, thanks, Lee. You want the motion resolved, the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library Board received the 2022 membership drive report as information. Mover. Mike. Who's the second, Lisa? Any opposed? Aaron gives a happy face, so that's good. Right there. All right, that's passed. Ready to go into close? Okay, then we're not starting. All right, so let's move to number 12. Resolve to members of the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library Board move in closed session pursuant to the Public Libraries Act, section 16.4, closed meetings, as the subject matter being considered is labor relations, employee negotiations. Further be resolved that should the said closed session be adjourned, the board may be reconvened in closed to continue to discuss the same matter without the need for further authorizing. Further resolved that the following individuals be permitted to McDonald, Kay Altonen, Bardone, Parker, and Richard